काफ़ी चीज़ें अगर आप देखें तो इन सालों में जब सुशांत सिंह की जब हत्या हो गई तो उसके बाद काफ़ी कुछ राज खुल रहे हैं। इट्स अ टेस्टिंग टाइम फॉर द राइट पीपल इन बॉलीवुड, क्योंकि हम लोग जो है वो ना किसी पॉलिटिक्स में है, ना किसी गेम में है, ना किसी कैंप में है। और क्यों ये लोग इतना अच्छा इज्जत से यार, दो रोटी कमाओ, इज्जत की कमाओ। अगर आपकी इमेज क्लीन है, अगर आप अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, आप देखिए, क्योंकि आप एक रोल मॉडल होते हैं। जो एक्टर होता है, कोई बड़ा जो भी डायरेक्टर होता है, वो एक रोल मॉडल होता है। तो आप क्या एग्जाम्पल दे रहे हैं?
सर, सुशांत सिंह का नाम लिया आपने, सुशांत
जी
सिंह राजपूत का।
जी।
एंड आज भी लोग रोज ट्विटर पे ट्रेंड करते हैं, जस्टिस फॉर सुशांत सिंह राजपूत।
बिल्कुल।
आप इस पे क्या कहना चाहोगे? क्योंकि रोज लोग जो है सुशांत के
नहीं,
फैंस रोज लड़ रहे हैं।
हम लोग को पब्लिक बहुत खफा हो गई है। जो सुशांत के साथ हुआ वो सही नहीं हुआ है, और बहुत पब्लिक गुस्से में है। उसका गुस्सा आपको बॉलीवुड के ऊपर दिखेगा, और बॉलीवुड के लोग एक्सेप्ट नहीं किए जाएंगे। जो गलत करेगा वो नहीं एक्सेप्ट किया जाएगा। सब पब्लिक को डाक में रखा है। तो नाइंसाफी तो अब क्या है, पब्लिक जो जनरल पब्लिक है बहुत समझदार हो गई है, अवेयर हो गई है। तो वो नहीं झेलेंगे कुछ भी गलत काम। आजकल सब पोल खुल जाती है सबकी। तो अभी पब्लिक नहीं सहेगी गलत गलत चीजों को, गलत लोगों को पब्लिक नहीं सहेगी। तो सुशांत के साथ हुआ वो सही नहीं हुआ, और उसका तो श्राप लग गया जैसे बॉलीवुड पे।
काफी कुछ
हाँ, काफी
ओपन हो
कुछ।
गया है।
और भी अभी देखो आप आगे क्या क्या होगा। लोगों को पब्लिक नहीं सहेगी। तो सुशांत के साथ हुआ वो सही नहीं हुआ, और उसका तो श्राप लग गया जैसे बॉलीवुड पे।
काफी कुछ
हाँ, काफी
ओपन हो
कुछ।
गया है।
और भी अभी देखो आप आगे क्या क्या होगा।
Hello everyone. Paki Dharji, hello, welcome. So I just wanted to do a quick live, guys, because I just wanted to show you what I saw. Faisal Khan, Amir Khan's brother. I think they are not in speaking terms with each other right now. But whether it is because he wants to take revenge on him or he wants his own entry into Bollywood, I think this is good news that he's coming out and speaking like this about Sushant. So just wanted to share that with you and just go over a few things. Bela Lahri, welcome, ma'am. How are you? Thank you for joining. Okay, so this is going to be a short and a sweet live because I just want to show a few things to keep SSR in our memory and also to share what Bollywood already knows and going by what is happening around the flop after flop after flop. I think everybody knows who is making all this happen. Okay, so let's go with a few things here. Just wanted to show you if anybody still believes, especially the Bollywood, that he was disenfranchised with life and he did not want to live. This is for them.
Is my equation with the work. If you don't give me films, I'll work in TV. If you don't give me TV series, I'll work in theatre. Or if you don't give me that, I'll do Nukka Natak. But I'll still act because I love acting. Is my equation with the work. If you don't give me films, I'll work in TV. If you don't give me TV series, I'll work in theatre. Or if you don't give me that, I'll do Nukka Natak. But I'll still act because I love acting.
So that is what he was. Hello, Shaladji. Welcome, ma'am. Happy New Year to you too. Hope this is already the 6th day. I can't believe it. Just was thinking 2021, what a year it has been so far. And it is hopefully 2022. I'm hearing that we'll continue to live with COVID and that is going to be our new reality. Hopefully, at least it's not going to create the mayhem that it did in 2020 and 2021. मुझे आपका फैन फॉलो ज्वाइन करेंगे कब आपका शो देंगे हमारा Okay, Michael Collins. Okay, so Anjali Bhalla, Justice Karo Modi ji. Yes. Thank you, Anjali ji, for coming from Facebook. Okay, so this is the kind of person he is. I just want to play a quick video. I don't know how many millions of times we must have seen this. This is one of my favorite videos. So sorry, I have to mute this because Okay. Look at the kind of person he is here. Thank you, ma'am, Sharad. Can anybody just shake hands with a person like this, a commoner, and just look at how our Bollywood people actually don't even treat them as human beings, right? And look at Sushant. So just wanted to play this video. He's taking selfies. We play a little bit of the music. Okay. So this is a little bit about that. Let me play a video, which is, I think, is an ad for something. And even during an ad, if he can talk like that, I don't know. That is the reason why I think he's so special. Let me do this.
मेरा ऑफिस बड़ा नहीं है, 2 दिन पुराना स्टार्टअप है मेरा। ऑफिस बड़ा नहीं है लेकिन सपने बहुत बड़े हैं। साथ दोगे? भाई सैलरी नहीं दे पाऊंगा लेकिन हिस्सेदारी जरूर मिलेगी। बिजनेस अच्छा हुआ तो साथ में आसमान छुएंगे, नहीं तो साथ में डूबेंगे। पर एक बात जरूर कहूंगा, उड़ने में मजा बहुत आएगा यार।
So I'm not sure. Aiji, welcome, sir. You're welcome to come hang out here. So I don't know if this is an ad for something, but I found this video and I was like, is this the kind of dialogue delivery and the script that he chose for an ad? I mean, it's just, I cannot differentiate whether he is actually acting or if this is his real life, if these are his real musings. So that is the beauty here.
2 दिन पुराना स्टार्टअप है मेरा। ऑफिस बड़ा नहीं है लेकिन सपने बहुत बड़े हैं। साथ दोगे? भाई सैलरी नहीं दे पाऊंगा लेकिन हिस्सेदारी जरूर मिलेगी। बिजनेस अच्छा हुआ तो साथ में आसमान छुएंगे, नहीं तो साथ में डूबेंगे। पर एक बात जरूर कहूंगा, उड़ने में मजा बहुत आएगा यार।
Okay, so Sonata ka ad. Okay. This is a watch company. Okay, interesting. Okay, thank you so much, Ayush. Okay, so this is still, this is one of my favorite videos, and I'm sure if anybody has seen this, they'll appreciate what I'm talking about.
ये ज़मीं गा रही है, आसमान है, साथ तेरे साथ मेरे ये सारा जहां गा रहा है। ये ज़मीं गा रही है, आसमान गा रहा है, साथ मेरे ये सारा जहां गा रहा है। Thank
I like the way he just, scolds him and corrects him, and it's just so funny. Absolutely, Marilyn Ji. It must have been a delight working with him.
साथ तेरे साथ मेरे ये सारा जहां गा रहा है। ये ज़मीं गा रही है, आसमान गा रहा है, साथ मेरे ये सारा जहां गा रहा है। Thank
Tanzan ji, welcome, sir. Absolutely. So this is what my, I have all these collection of beautiful videos of him. I feel so selfish. So I have to keep coming live and sharing it with you all because I feel like I should not keep all these things to myself. Thank you, Ishma ji. Welcome, ma'am. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you so much. Okay, so here I want to show you this. Okay, so for those of you who are joining just now, I just played video of Faisal Khan, who is the brother of Amir Khan, who is talking about Sushant's murder. Okay, so let's just listen to him real quick. I'm going to play this again at the end of the thing also, because this is the main video of today that I just wanted to bring to your notice.
काफ़ी चीज़ें अगर आप देखें तो इन सालों में जब सुशांत सिंह की जब हत्या हो गई तो उसके बाद काफ़ी कुछ राज खुल रहे हैं. इट्स अ टेस्टिंग टाइम फॉर द राइट पीपल इन बॉलीवुड, क्योंकि हम लोग जो है वो ना किसी पॉलिटिक्स में है, ना किसी गेम में है, ना किसी कैंप में है. और क्यों ये लोग इतना अच्छा इज्जत से यार 2 रोटी कमाओ, इज्जत की कमाओ. अगर आपकी इमेज क्लीन है, अगर आप अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, आप देखिए, क्योंकि आप एक रोल मॉडल होते हैं. जो एक्टर होता है, कोई बड़ा जो भी डायरेक्टर होता है, वो एक रोल मॉडल होता है. तो आप क्या एग्जाम्पल दे रहे हैं?
सर, सुशांत सिंह का नाम लिया आपने, सुशांत
जी
सिंह राजपूत का,
जी
एंड आज भी लोग रोज ट्विटर पे ट्रेंड करते हैं जस्टिस फॉर सुशांत सिंह राजपूत.
बिल्कुल.
आप इस पे क्या कहना चाहोगे? क्योंकि रोज लोग जो है सुशांत के
नहीं,
फैंस रोज लड़ रहे हैं.
हम लोग को पब्लिक बहुत खफा हो गई है. जो सुशांत के साथ हुआ वो सही नहीं हुआ है, और बहुत पब्लिक गुस्से में है. उसका गुस्सा आपको बॉलीवुड के ऊपर दिखेगा, और बॉलीवुड के लोग एक्सेप्ट नहीं किए जाएंगे. जो गलत करेगा वो नहीं एक्सेप्ट किया जाएगा. सब पब्लिक को डाक में रखा है. तो नाइंसाफी तो अब क्या है, पब्लिक जो जनरल पब्लिक है बहुत समझदार हो गई है, अवेयर हो गई है. तो वो नहीं झेलेंगे कुछ भी गलत काम. आजकल सब पोल खुल जाती है सबकी. तो अभी पब्लिक नहीं सहेगी गलत गलत चीज़ों को, गलत लोगों को पब्लिक नहीं सहेगी. तो सुशांत के साथ हुआ वो सही नहीं हुआ, और उसका तो श्राप लग गया जैसे बॉलीवुड पे.
काफी कुछ
हाँ, काफी
ओपन हो
कुछ.
गया.
और भी अभी देखो आप आगे क्या क्या होगा.
So I don't necessarily agree with his SSR ka shrap laga. I would rather make him say SSRians ka shrap laga Bollywood pe. Because I don't want to associate anything negative with SSR. Dheeraj ji, welcome sir. Happy New Year. Yeah, absolutely. This, just re-energizes the whole momentum for me, and just resets my own thinking ki why I'm here and why I'm fighting for his justice. So thank you. Propaganda Khan ka bhai Faisal Khan. Yeah, Aish, I don't know if he is also doing something for his own advantage, but at least he's speaking out in favor of SSRians and SSR. So that's all I care about. So, I mean, if he benefits in the process, I mean, so be it. And I think uska kuch jalta hai uske brother ke saath. So he's, yeah. So Sheila ji, welcome ma'am. How are you? Always good to see you and your tributes to SSR. Okay, Ushma Malji. Okay, so you have seen this video. I was pleasantly surprised yesterday when I saw it, and I was like, I need to show you guys. Boycott Bollywood, absolutely. Yeah, don't spam here, whoever you are. मेला मूवी. सुशीला जी, आपने बहुत बढ़िया टॉपिक निकाला. मेला मूवी का तो इतना अच्छा से रोस्टिंग करेंगे हम लोग, ट्विंकल दीदी का भी. सो मेला मूवी में ये था क्या? ओके, आई डोंट think so. I don't remember exactly. I have to. So Tanushree, hello, welcome. Hello everyone. Okay, so रख में दबी चिंगारी भी कह जाती है धुआं उठाने की कहानी. राख में दबी चिंगारी भी. ओके, फिर तो सुशांत प्रसिद्ध चेहरा है क्यों? Wow. Very nice. Thank you, Kanchanji, for writing it in English. I really appreciate that. Just want to put this out here for you guys to read it, while I just want to show you something. What human being, I don't know, I have never done it. I mean, I have only slowly started to try to imbibe his lessons into my life, but I don't know any Bollywood star or Hollywood star who has ever done this, who ever do letters to self in encouragement like this. So absolutely, Anjali Kumarji, welcome. Absolutely, Tanushree. Yes. Absolutely, Dheeraj ji. Yeah. Just that is the hope. कल पंजाब में ड्रामा हुआ था, same on Punjab government. Okay, so you're saying that he said the same, he said some comments on Punjab government? Okay. Okay, so here let's analyze this one here. Okay, so letters to self, he writes this on 5th August, Thursday, in his impeccable handwriting. And he says, time we have to complete an action largely defines the way we act. Okay, so there is also something, time stretches. If you keep thinking that ha kar lenge kuch kaam, you the time will stretch, the work will stretch as much as time you want to give it. So he is saying, in another way, he's saying that time we have to complete an action largely defines the way we act. So if you're going to be alsi, if you're going to be lazy about it, obviously you're going to. So he's cautioning himself that he cannot procrastinate. He's just, and this is the beauty, right? The pen and hand connection to the brain cannot be dismissed, and that is a lot of kids these days in colleges, they are taking notes on iPads and laptops and everything, but it is so dangerous for the memory, because whatever you have put in writing on the notes, the brain has a way to memorize all those things, and it is much more a much better way to learn, because that is how we have evolved since we have started to communicate 70,000 years ago. So I don't see him working much on his devices except when he's replying to his fans on Instagram and Twitter. So he's always a pen and a paper kind of a guy. So congratulations, today we are closer to our death than yesterday. So here, I'll tell you something. This is I strongly believe in this memento mori. If you can see this line here, it's a Latin phrase. Memento mori is, if you are able to, if you don't find your purpose, so many people, I'm also working with a 72-year-old gentleman who is trying to figure out his purpose of his life. There's so many people, even at whatever age, they're always trying to figure out their purpose, right? But if you contemplate, it means if you can think of your death, that death is inevitable. So that is what memento mori is, that one day you will die, kind of a phrase. Okay, so he says, congratulations, today we are closer to our death than yesterday. So basically, if you are looking for your life's purpose, if you can just contemplate on life's, if you can just contemplate on your life's finiteness, that someday soon you're going to die and you don't know when, you are going to be able to appreciate it, quickly get to your life's purpose. What do you like to do? I mean, we can talk about how to arrive at your purpose by looking at your strengths, looking at all the things that you like to do, looking at all the things that emotionally you get connected with, and all those, and you can funnel out and get to your purpose. So the point here is memento mori. Can you imagine anybody, health, death, and money? These are the three things that we don't usually talk about. These are taboo topics. So health, kisi ko kuch ho gaya, we don't know until much later. The health, finance kaisa hai? If you are like not doing so well, you try to shy away and you don't tell anybody what your problems are. The third thing is death. We often like just sugarcoat it and we think that it's not going to happen, but it is the reality of life, right? So can you imagine a person writing down a memento mori and actually putting it in their diary every single day to see it? That is the beauty of Sushant. So look at this. He says, congratulations, we are closer to our death than yesterday. Even if you think that you cannot change the way you live, at least you have more fun today and make someone smile. He is always outward focused. If you see, how can I give? How can I contribute? How can I learn more and become better? How can I do something for others? And we just saw the interaction with him with the balloon guys, right? I mean, I would not even think a second time to even just look at them and like think of them. That is what humanizes him so much, right? So 1 second, let's see here. Let's see some comments here. Thank you, Suryakant Rajapurji, welcome. SSR was beyond people's imagination, super intellectual. Absolutely, Neera Batraji. Welcome, ma'am. Okay, Scout fan, sir. Today Varun is off, and I am doing this. Thank you. Okay, excellent. I'm doing well, ma'am. Yeah, considering my kids are back online school in the house, and I'm like, time is of very short supply. So, thank you, Supravaji. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome. So here, लाइव इतना रात को स्टार्ट होता है, मैं ज्वाइन नहीं हो पा रही हूँ. I'm so sorry, Sushila ji. So what I'll do is, by the time I can get things sorted out and sit down, today also I have to go take my son to a driving test. So that's why I'm in a hurry to quickly wrap up things and everything. But by the time I could get to the computer, it was late. I'm sorry. Please, don't compromise sleep. You can always check out the replay. So okay, so, but if it's not too late, anytime you can join. Sir Venkateswamy Ditigar, Happy New Year and meek kuda. Thank you so much. आमिर खान ने अपने ही भाई को चुना. I know. यार they don't have ethics यार, कुछ भी मतलब. नेहा भाटिया, absolutely genius SSR. So he's saying, Venkateswamy Diti Garu, he's saying that, so I'll read it in Telugu and translate. Sushant Singh Rajput manato leru ane vishayam బాధాకరం న్యాయం జరగాలని కోరుకుంటున్నాము. Means he is very sad that he is not among us anymore, and he is wishing for justice as soon as possible. Thank you, sir, for your sentiment. Appreciate that. Okay, so here let's see a few more of his thoughts. I'll show you something. Look at the confidence of that child, and he knows how capable he is and how he has so many things left to do in the world. Look at what he says.
All right, moving ahead. Sushant, if you get a chance to be reborn again, किसकी तरह आप?
खुद के जैसा.
Love it.
Once again.
All right, moving ahead. Sushant, if you get a chance to be reborn again, किसकी तरह आप?
खुद के जैसा.
Love it.
So look at, I always use this, I always think that he uses this strategy. Let me show you something. Thinking fast and slow. Okay, I want to show you a book that won the Nobel Prize. This gentleman, Daniel Kahneman, he won the Nobel Prize, for all his ideas and everything. So, yeah, एक second, रुको. Just want to show you images. Okay, let's go to image and let's open this. Okay. Oops, why is it so small, yaar? Okay, give me a second. Sorry, guys. Okay, so anybody who is interested in trying to understand how to learn and think, and how to use the capacity of your brain to an optimum level, I highly recommend. I mean, this is a very long read, but I highly recommend this book because Daniel Kahneman is the Nobel Prize, won the Nobel Prize in economics, and he talks about thinking fast and thinking slow. So if you see Sushant's interviews and his replies, he immediately, so he thinks, and whatever the first answer is, he will give. He doesn't, and whenever he's deliberating, he's only deliberating so that he can give a more coherent and great answer. So if you see this answer here, look at what he does. Can you imagine how many times he must have thought, or what kind of idea he has about himself, his own self-image, that he wants to be born as himself, right? We usually have ideals. We want to be somebody else. We want to aspire to be that role model or this role model. But look at what he says, and he is so thinking fast, thinking slow ka concept kya hai na ki what is the first thing that you get out of your intuition, your gut feeling? Usually that is what is correct. When you go to an event or you visit somebody's house, you have that gut feeling in you telling you that ye sahi ghar hai ya ye galat insaan hai, yeah, something like that. You get ideas, right? So this is he's always pretty much an intuitive guy by seeing what his responses are, almost always. Once again.
All right, moving ahead. Sushant, if you get a chance to be reborn again, किसकी तरह आप?
खुद के जैसा.
Love it.
Okay, so just want to put his photo. Okay. Nehaji, we are all trying to understand, the huge potential that he had in him, and trying to derive meaning out of what he did. It's amazing. What do you think of SSK self-musing? So SSK self-musing, yeah, okay. So I'll tell you something. This is, I mean, see, Sweta Singh Kirti ji, so whatever she's doing, everybody has their own coping mechanism. Okay? So, and if she is writing or if she's trying to portray something to help SSRians and trying to do that, I think it is her own way of coping. We cannot comment, we can never be in her shoes. Okay, so I really cannot comment. And I just think from a psychological point of view, I think that she's trying out different things as a coping mechanism. And because, living without a brother whom you can like text and call and talk to every day, and now he's not there anymore to never return, we should just give them a breather, especially the family. And people questioning the family on Twitter, it's just unbelievable. Just sad. Okay, so Neha Bhatia ji, okay, thank you. Yeah, so मैं बॉलीवुड वाले कुछ भी करें वो लाजब होता है, मतलब किस बात पर किसी कमेंट्स करना चाहिए ये तो पता नहीं है, कुछ भी बोल देते हैं. I know exactly. वो यार उनका तो मतलब if you see some of Varun Dhawan's and Jackie Shroff's interviews, Sonam Kapoor, so full of. Okay, I don't want to say anything. It's a shot here, but okay. So, RIP Jaya Lodha ji, welcome, ma'am. RIP Bollywood, boycott Bollywood, mafia forever, and justice for SSR and Disha Jia Khan and Siddharth Shukla. Okay, Siddharth Shukla. Okay. So, ना थकेंगे ना रुकेंगे ना झुकेंगे ना डरेंगे and justice तो लेकर रहेंगे. Okay, so you are I got your point, ma'am. Yeah. No. You're fine. Yeah. We are here in a non-judgmental place. Don't worry. We're all here together. Okay. So let's see a few more before we finish. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Learning. Okay. Of course, let's explore some of Sushant's favorite topics. Let me first show you something that we discussed previously. If you guys remember, what are the different kinds of musings that Sushant had that he used to talk about? Okay, these are the different kinds of topics that I have found. If anybody has any additions, please let me know. So basically, Sushant is a guy who talks in paradoxes. Okay, so he's always like, he'll make you think. He's not going to give you something just straight away. He is always going to talk in recursive, like, hey, it's all going to tie it back in the end, but you will have to try to understand it. It's a very smart way of writing, and that is how your brain is wired to write so complicatedly. Okay, and he's talking about personal optimization and personal growth. Okay, so these are the two main things that Sushant talks about. And optimization how to make, look at his exercise videos, is insane exercise videos. And it talks about developing his mind, developing his brain, and increasing, whether it is doing meditation, whether it sharpening his mind through all kinds of techniques. And he is also talking about learning, okay, personal and at a professional level, because he is always trying to see how to level up to the next level. The next thing he does is, okay, again, we were just talking about it, intuitively and rationally. Okay, so he is also going to be talking in depth, in detail, about science, astronomy, and concrete ideas, as well as abstract ideas like metaphysics and non-duality and all those things. So he is deeply connected to his intuition. That is the kind of person he is, because it reflects in his smile. His yesterday it was like you were celebrating about Sushant's smile, right? So it just reflects what kind of a person he is. So if you see, there are all these broad categories for his self musings, and that is what we are going to be talking about today. So Angeline ji, yeah, real memorable ads. Exactly. Yeah, and all of them are, that is what if you're truly aligned to your real nature, right? There is no conflict. You can just be yourself. You don't have to put up an act. You don't have to be somebody else outside. My boss used to tell me, when I was working 6-7 years ago, he told me once, who you are, will you stop at the traffic light? It is midnight at 12 o'clock, and will you stop at the traffic light or not? If there is nobody around you, obviously you will stop, right? If you are, so what kind of a person are you inside and outside? Basically, when no one is looking at you and everyone is looking at you, that is the true alignment that you see with Sushant. So that is the beauty here. Nirmala ji, welcome, ma'am. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Vande Mataram. Absolutely, Vande Mataram is my favorite word. It's amazing. Okay, so let's go. So some of these, so there are a couple of controversies that some of the self musings are not attributed to him and all that. I have Twitter links and all that for that, but it doesn't matter. Right now, the self musing that I'm showing you, they're not under any kind of a question. But if anybody knows otherwise, please let me know. So I just wanted you guys to know that this is the Urban Dictionary meaning of who an SSRian is. So any one of you who is watching and who is an SSRian must be proud of how we are so dedicated and trying to resolve this issue and give justice. I wish Bollywood folks knew that if they can just hand over 2 penguins to us so that we can take them to court, that will be awesome. But they won't. But this is who we are. Never give up. So please, cherish this family and just let's be together. Most of us stop learning that when we leave education, what we learn when we need to get our jobs, there's very little growth. Absolutely, Priya ji. Welcome. Yeah, this is absolutely right. He's always eager to learn more. Curiosity. And see, that is the reason why, right? That is, so I wrote about it as well, what children are, how children problem solve. I see all those qualities in Sushant. He's extremely curious. If you see a child till 5 or 7, you can see that they're always trying to figure out, always meddling with things and trying to figure out how to do things, right? But as we grow older, we just try to, back off from that behavior, thinking that it is crazy or it is childlike. But that is not true. We should always try to explore and be curious and never stop learning. Okay, so let's do a few self musings and then I'll wrap it up. Please, by all means, anybody wants to join, you're welcome. Okay. So, oops, I was just talking about it. Okay, so children, right? So it would be more interesting to learn from children than try to teach them how to behave, how to live, and how to function. Imagine, he himself never had children of his own, never had a chance to have children of his own, but he has this understanding of how, they say that the subconscious brain is so active until 7, but we keep giving it all kinds of cultural baggage and beliefs and like, you have to dress this way, you have to behave this way, you have to live this way, and all those things, and we just program that child and take away all that uniqueness out of him and just but look at that. So rather than teaching them, let's learn from them. That's what he says. Let's go to another one. Okay. Words contaminate my feelings and then they are frisked by your brain. They seek admission to your heart and it slows down its noise to listen to them. Your eyes then announce their fate. Okay, so please, by all means, if anybody knows that this is not attributed to Sushant, let me know. But I have something I wanted to show you, because talking about that, it is important that we are, while you're reading this, I'll show you something. There is Priyanka ji who was, commenting earlier. She actually had sent me a comment saying that one of the Sushant's videos that we were attributing to him is not his really. So I wanted to show you that. While this is happening, let me go to that. Okay. So if you guys remember this video, the reason why we need to be careful about what we are attributing to him and what we are not. So that I just wanted to show you this. In one of the previous episodes, I had actually told you guys that this video was that of Sushant's. Okay, so unfortunately, where this is not his, it seems. So Priyanka ji had, I will show you the comment here. So here he is running around waving the flag, but this gentleman is not Sushant, and he is, one second. So, oh, oops, sorry. Let me show you. Can you guys see this? Yaar, ye kya hai? Oh my good lord. Okay. So hold on. Yeah. So let's see. Great session, Rachana ji. Just to add, the Vaga border video is not Sushant's video. It is Arun Bijlani, a TV actor. Hello, Ayush. How are you, sir? So just wanted to correct that, guys. Appreciate her idea here. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Shobha ji, welcome, ma'am. Eagles fly alone. Welcome. Thank you, Shobha ji. I appreciate that. Thank you, ma'am. I am. This is whatever I feel. Whenever I read more about him, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy is unbelievable. I need to, like, I cannot keep this information to myself. I need to, share it. So, Ayush sir, welcome. How are you?
वेलकम सर फाइन सुशांत के घर में तो एक टेलीस्कोप भी था
Yeah.
बड़ा वाला
Absolutely.
सुशांत मेरी नजर में एक्टर नहीं बल्कि एक साइंटिस्ट भी हो सकते हैं एक स्पोर्ट्समैन भी हो सकते हैं आर्मी ऑफिसर भी हो सकते हैं या किसी इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज के प्रोफेसर हो सकते हैं लेकिन वो एक्टिंग में आकर गलत रास्ते पे आ गए वो
Seriously,
तो एक्टिंग के लिए बना नहीं था ये सब कुछ लिए
Absolutely, I mean, we just don't deserve him.
और
That's what I
जवानों के
feel.
बीच में एक पढ़ा लिखा आदमी चला जाए तो क्या होगा
Absolutely. Well said. It's just boils my blood sometimes when I see all these Bollywood actors and oops, Ayush chala gaya. Okay, but he was talking about a telescope. I just wanted to show you this video that I had.
And by the way, this is my time machine. This is the telescope called Meade 600. And you can see Saturn rings, Jupiter moons, and actually different galaxies, Andromeda also, when the sky is clear.
Okay, so we'll do a NASA topic. I'm researching on it. I'll bring that information next month. But yeah, this is the kind of person he was. Okay, so here what he's saying is, look at, so this is also called, okay, so this is also called cognitive bias. Okay, so sometimes, okay, let's say I like a red shirt that I usually wear all the time. And whenever you see me in that, you're like, अरे यार ये red shirt यही वाला है क्या इसके पास और कुछ है नहीं क्या? Why does she only wear that? So what you're doing is when you are spending resources on thinking about my shirt that I should be wearing less, you are focusing less on what I'm saying, right? So that is called cognitive bias. And cognition matlab thinking, bias. So you're biased about it. So what he's saying is, he's just putting that information out. He's saying words contaminate my feelings. Okay. Then they are frisked by your brain. They seek admission to your heart. Okay. So try to understand this in a very, it is the whole nature of exchange of conversation. Let's say Ayush nikal gaya abhi. He literally, his internet got cut out and he got kicked out. But I'm like, we were just having a conversation. How can Ayush leave here? It's impolite, right? So I am making my own stories in my brain to feel better about myself, okay, and my ego. So that is what he's saying. So emotions, feelings, words, they are very, very complicated, and yeah, it's just beautiful. I just love this. Ayush, please say something, sir. Let me say. You're on mute, sweetie. Yeah. Think, okay. So let's see. Reading is to be encouraged. That knowledge we get from books is unparalleled, especially compared to the digital world we live in. Yeah, absolutely. So I work on a project called Truth About Technology, Priya. So I will, I want to bring that research out here because we are, living in a increasingly, there is this Guardian article that came, which is called "Our Attention is Being Stolen Right Now." It is just such a mind-blowing read. I cannot even tell you. And that is exactly what is happening. 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 90-year-olds, everybody addicted to the device because they just cannot live in a slow moving real world. It is a very dangerous world we are living in right now. Technology is okay. So Ayush sent me something. Let me see what it is. It's okay. Okay, so let me do one thing. Okay, Ayush, Ifaka, I'll see that video 1 second. I'll probably snip it because otherwise I'll get copyright. Tell me about it and then we'll talk. Okay, so we all, yeah. We all have unconscious biases, absolutely. See, and knowing about it is important. We obviously, I'll see somebody at let's say there is this park, okay, theme park where roller coasters are there, and I go there and I see a person in a wheelchair. I'm like, Are yaar, why is he here? What is he going to enjoy? Or something like that. You can, who am I to judge, right? If I understand that my unconscious bias is going to kick in and say something stupid, think something this stupid, so then I have to create a barrier for it, and try to, stay away from those kind of things. So that is the whole point here. Absolutely, Kanchanji, yes, 100%. Okay, so last few minutes here. Let me show you some more musings. Okay. So he has, again, all these things are being attributed for SSR. So please, if you guys know any other, if it is not true or something, please highlight to us so that we can correct ourselves. Living your dream is the walk between what should be done and what could be done, using maybe as your signpost. Because I think, see, if you don't even give yourself an opportunity of thinking maybe this is possible, you won't even try it, right? So he's saying that if you want to achieve something, give yourself that option of maybe and try for it, and keep that as your signpost in front of you so that you can keep moving forward. So that's that. Okay. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Okay. Again, so there is subjectivity and objectivity. If you guys, we talked about it extensively. So objectivity is just fact based. No mirch masala, no drama, nothing. Just whatever it is, right? But what we are living right now is with our emotions. Thanks to our emotions and our feelings, we live in an alternate world of subjective reality. It means that वो कुछ बोला चला गया, but then I'm going to add some mirch masala to it and everything, and just like beef it up and make it like a big gigantic pain in my head. Okay, so look at what he's saying. Reality is subjective and directly depends on your attention, and you attend to things that are relevant to you. Anything could be real if you could just make it relevant. Okay, so here, see, reality is subjective. So sometimes what happens is there is a big protest that is going on right now. Okay, Sushant Singh Rajput, justice for Sushant. Some of my friends are still liking Instagram posts of Ranveer Singh and Deepika Padukone and all that. The reason for that is going to be when they don't understand the relevancy of why they should not follow those people. If they understand ki, yaar, till now we have been fed, from the past 50 years we have been fed bullshit, we cannot continue to perpetuate that kind of a problem in our lives anymore. If they understand that, what will happen is, in their reality this is very relevant, and then they are going to discard all that bullshit. So that is, you need to understand anything, and that is why a lot of people, we are, we have a lot of SSRians in our family, but we are still struggling to get that mass critical mass to just overpower. Of course, we are getting there. Okay, we are, as you can see, Bollywood ka kya ho raha hai aajkal. We can already see that it is already happening. Okay, so I'll take that word that we are struggling. Sorry about that. Okay. So this is one of my favorite pictures here. He's just chilling and just very nice. Okay, so our eyes blinked in mutual agreement much before our fervent attempts to negotiate the inevitable with our ever insufficient and desperate words. Okay, so he's saying that again, thinking fast, thinking sloka. He's taking that idea here where he says that, when you actually meet somebody for the first time, you're already feeling like, this can be a nice person. He or she can be like a person that we can stay connected with or something like that. Even though we make that first idea, what we do further on is trying to impress them and they trying to impress us and trying to get to a point where we are mutually, amicable to each other. So he's saying that sometimes our gut tells us what we are going to end up being in that relationship, whether we are going to end up being in that relationship or not. So let's see. Absolutely, Shobhaji. Yeah, so many self-musings. It's just, how can somebody retrieve these kind of things from their brain? I don't know. Thank you, Alvino Fernandez. Welcome, sir. People think we are conspiracy theorists like people who believe. Priyaji, I think I know. I'm like, bol ke thak gayi main. So whenever I go in a party right now, now they are like, yaar ye aa gayi fir se. And I'm like, I don't care. So okay, so Judy, welcome, ma'am. Hello, how are you? Okay, so here our eyes blinked in mutual agreement. So look at what he's saying again, thinking. So he's deeply conscious of our unconscious behaviors and biases. That is the beauty here. Okay, so nothing is important and nothing is frivolous. I'm strikingly ordinary yet supremely unique. Okay, so two things here to unpack here. He says nothing is important and nothing is frivolous. So frivolous is, just something that doesn't matter or something like that. But he says that who are we to decide what is important or not, right? For maybe for you in my life, I don't, my life doesn't matter as much. My parents don't matter as much. My sister doesn't matter as much. My family doesn't matter as much. But for me, they hold a very, very important role, right? So that is what, and then he's talking about himself where he's saying, I mean, of course, it applies to everybody. I am very plain and ordinary, right? Like just no drama. But I'm also unique. If I recognize that about myself, I can do something about my potential, right? So, I just, there was this girl, one second. So no, Korea, she actually killed herself yesterday. So, sorry, one second. Let me see if I can find her. Yesterday there was, okay, I'm not able to find her, but yesterday there was a Korean actress who killed herself in Korea, and Korea has a very, let me show you the Guardian. Actually, okay, so look at this. So North Korea. Hold on. No. This is, I'm sorry, South Korea. I meant suicide in South Korea. So you have to see suicide in South Korea is among youngsters is, exceptionally disproportionately high than any other country because their standards are extremely high of what they see as. So if you understand, if any child understands, and even for our, this girl who was who belongs to the Fogart family, she also committed suicide. If you remember that, she was a cousin or some. So all these children who lose their lives, who just don't see any point in living, if they can just understand the fact that everybody is supremely unique in their own way. That is, I have this beautiful quote from him where he talks about the burden of expectations and hope. Let me show you that. It's just, if we can just understand it, these kids can just understand. Let me pull it up. This is one of the things that I want to, yeah. Look at this. He says, the man I want to be looks back at me with the same longing, with a similar smile, but somewhat different, free from the burden of hope. So all these kids who don't see a reason in their living, who don't see any value in living and all that, what they're doing is they're not seeing themselves as supremely unique. They want to fit into a mold. Oh, parents ne aisa bola, we need to fit into that mold. Or the peers are expecting them to behave in a certain way. Or they themselves cannot look in the mirror because this burden of hope on them, right? So just so many lessons here. I mean, I can just go on and on and on. Okay, one of the self musings here. Okay, so the more my thoughts tiptoe away from you, the more I feel your presence, brushing my hair, pressing my skin, blowing on my face, and certainly the arc on my lips, sometimes whispering as if like a gentle reminder. Okay, so let's just not attribute this to anybody in his life, but as something that a person would, if he was just out of a relationship or anything like that, if he more, I want to pull back my thoughts away from you, the more I feel your presence. Maybe I hope the family releases a book like this so that we can all treasure these and read. That is the beauty of some of the books, right? You can just crack open anywhere and just start reading and just. I have one book like that. So the gift of peace karke, I don't know how many of you follow Brahma Kumaris, but people in my family follow them. So if you see the gift of peace, you can literally open the book, read a quote, just energize yourself and then close. So these kind of, this is what I do with his quotes, just look at them and just treasure them for what they are. Okay, so let's do self-musing. Okay, so musing is a thought. So Shobhaji, musing is a thought, and self-musing is how. So what he's doing is, so this is a very, I don't want to get into like the details of psychology and all that, but this is something called, okay, let me show you. Let me do a whiteboard here. Okay. So basically so you are here. So whenever you go to a counselor or a therapist or anybody to try to resolve your problems or anything like that, or even for yourself, even if you don't have any problems, okay, like Sushant, he had no problems. He was living life to his fullest and everything. So why was he able to do that is because he's able to look at himself objectively from a third person point of view. So what he's doing is he is all his reflections and his self thoughts, he's putting them on paper and reading out as if it is written by somebody else, right? So that is called a third party object. You're going to make it an object, not yourself but something else, and then read it back to yourself so that you understand the full context. Basically that is what self musings are. And just the dictionary meaning of that, and just a psychological why this technique is so important for your own mental health. It's just an amazing technique. I don't know if he had, of course he had interest in psychology and people behavior and all that. So I'm sure he, absolutely, Priya. Yeah. I was thinking, I have so little time to do the live today. Should I go or not? But I thought Faisal Khan's video and just being in Sushant's memory was so important. Anyway, I was going to do it, so I might as well do it live, right? So I went with my gut feeling today, right? So that is, you just have to do some things. One more minute. Yeah. So absolutely, Saviji, welcome, ma'am. So I want to conclude here with Faisal Khan's video for those of you who just joined, because it is important that we understand, and I will take this back up once again because we haven't obviously finished with what we are doing. So let me tap into some parts of that has absolutely Priya. Yeah, he is definitely a person. higher conscious. He would, if given a chance, he would have dwelled more into higher conscious. Absolutely no doubt at all. Manojji, welcome, sir. Welcome, Ganga. Welcome, ma'am. So I am sorry, guys. I'll have to take your leave for today, but I just want to play this Faisal Khan's video before I conclude, because it's important that we understand what Bollywood already knows, and it's just amazing to see this.
काफ़ी चीज़ें अगर आप देखें तो इन सालों में जब सुशांत सिंह की जब हत्या हो गई, तो उसके बाद काफ़ी कुछ राज खुल रहे हैं. इट्स अ टेस्टिंग टाइम फॉर द राइट पीपल इन बॉलीवुड, क्योंकि हम लोग जो है वो ना किसी पॉलिटिक्स में है, ना किसी गेम में है, ना किसी कैंप में है. और क्यों ये लोग इतना अच्छा इज्जत से यार 2 रोटी कमाओ, इज्जत की कमाओ. अगर आपकी इमेज क्लीन है, अगर आप अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, आप देखिए, क्योंकि आप एक रोल मॉडल होते हैं. जो एक्टर होता है, कोई बड़ा जो भी डायरेक्टर होता है, वो एक रोल मॉडल होता है. तो आप क्या एग्जाम्पल दे रहे हैं?
सर, सुशांत सिंह का नाम लिया आपने, सुशांत
जी.
सिंह राजपूत का,
जी.
एंड आज भी लोग रोज ट्विटर पे ट्रेंड करते हैं, जस्टिस फॉर सुशांत सिंह राजपूत.
बिल्कुल.
आप इस पे क्या कहना चाहोगे? क्योंकि रोज लोग जो है सुशांत के
नहीं,
फैंस रोज लड़ रहे हैं.
हम लोग को पब्लिक बहुत खफा हो गई है. जो सुशांत के साथ हुआ वो सही नहीं हुआ है, और बहुत पब्लिक गुस्से में है. उसका गुस्सा आपको बॉलीवुड के ऊपर दिखेगा, और बॉलीवुड के लोग एक्सेप्ट नहीं किए जाएंगे. जो गलत करेगा वो नहीं एक्सेप्ट किया जाएगा. सब पब्लिक को डाक में रखा है. तो नाइंसाफी तो अब क्या है, पब्लिक जो जनरल पब्लिक है बहुत समझदार हो गई है, अवेयर हो गई है. तो वो नहीं झेलेंगे कुछ भी गलत काम. आजकल सब पोल खुल जाती है सबकी. तो अभी पब्लिक नहीं सहेगी गलत गलत चीज़ों को, गलत लोगों को पब्लिक नहीं सहेगी. तो सुशांत के साथ वो सही नहीं हुआ, और उसका तो श्राप लग गया जैसे बॉलीवुड पे.
काफी कुछ
हाँ, काफी
ओपन हो
कुछ.
गया.
और भी अभी देखो आप आगे क्या क्या होगा.
Thank you, guys.